I've been living and working remotely from Morocco, specifically Tangier, for the past few months, and some things are more expensive than Europe and North America, while others are super inexpensive. So I'll break down all the costs, monthly, weekly, daily, rent, transportation, food, everything, so that you have a realistic idea of how much it costs to live here. So let's start with the easy stuff, rent. Airbnb for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom is just under $1,000 a month. I think it's somewhere between $900 and $1,000 a month. And because it's on Airbnb, it includes everything like Wi-Fi, utilities, everything like that. Obviously, you can get something less expensive if you're renting locally, but I think it's just way easier and more convenient to do with Airbnb, which is why I did it that way. Honestly, I think the easiest way to show you the day-to-day expenses is just to show you what I spend over a couple of days, and then we'll circle back to the monthly expenses at the end. I start most days with a workout, whether it's the gym, Pilates, or MMA. Today is gym number 1, and I'll show you the other gym tomorrow. This gym is 200 dirhams per month for 3 days a week, plus a 50 dirham sign-up fee. The reason that I alternate gyms every day is because most gyms here are split by men's and women's days. So this gym is my Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday gym. Tomorrow is my Monday, Wednesday, Friday gym, and Saturdays I go to Pilates. I have a quick lash appointment today, so I'm going with InDrive. You have to bid for your ride, and you have to pay with cash at the end of the ride, so it's basically just a less convenient Uber, honestly. I came back home to take the one meeting that I had. Rest of the day, I don't have any meetings. So this is the kind of day that I like to go and work at a coffee shop / restaurant and get a little bit of work done there. Also eat some other food than what I eat at home. So I'll show you how much everything costs. I've been completely obsessed with these protein bars, Joy Fuel, so I'm picking up a couple on the way to the restaurant. Before calling the InDrive home, I'm just stopping at the store again to pick something up, and I'll show you how much it costs at home.
I picked up this fruit. It looked a lot like guanabana or, I don't know, custard apple, sour apple. There are a bunch of names for this fruit, basically. This is just a small version of it. I wanted to try it here. It said imported from Spain. I definitely overpaid for it. I don't know. The price is on here. I think it's $26.74. Oh, it's not that bad. It's only like a couple dollars. Obviously, in Colombia, this is an amazing fruit. It's one of my favorite fruits. I honestly didn't know it was produced in Spain. Looks a bit, I don't know. Seems a bit off. I'm just gonna go into it with my hands. I didn't grab a spoon or anything. Not awful, but not amazing either. Very kind of grainy. Probably one of the worst I've ever had.
This is gym number 2, and I paid the 3-month package for 600 dirhams plus 200 for the sign-up. As I said, this is for 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for women. Both gyms are close enough to home, so I either walk or jog, no transportation costs there. The tap water is questionable here, so I have to pick up a water jug a few times a week. Today's grocery day, so I'll show you what a typical grocery haul looks like. This is the full grocery haul, and I'm just gonna pull this up here so I don't have to crouch. But it would be a lot cheaper if I bought this at the souk, but I like going to the grocery store because that is just too overwhelming for me. It takes longer to find stuff. Nice for a one-time, local experience, but aside from that, I just go to the store and do my shopping there. For context, this extra lean ground beef, and this is the main reason I go actually, is because you can't get extra lean ground beef. You don't even know the percentage, and I count my macros, calories, stuff like that, and protein, and you don't even know the percentage when you go to the souk. So I do need it. I'd like to know. I don't need it, but I would like to know, which is why I pay extra. A very big premium because this extra lean ground beef is it's 150 dirhams per kilo, which is about $15 per kilo. So yeah, this is more expensive than in Canada. A little bit expensive if you go to the stores here, but as I said, you can just go to the souk and get things for cheaper, just that's not what I do. The total grocery amount was less than usual because I usually get way more meat. This is basically my main food is extra lean ground beef. Reason I did it is because this is my last week here and I'm going on a trip tomorrow. A bunch of things basically. I'm not going to be eating at home as much. Usually my groceries for the week, or my main grocery haul, because I get some fruits and stuff like that every day, but the main grocery trip for the week is usually about 700 to 800 dirhams. So this is significantly less actually. Picked up some of these stuff aren't really usual. It's just for my day trip tomorrow. I basically need lunch, so I'm just gonna make some quesadillas, some protein bars. I have some snacks and stuff like that, mainly for the trip tomorrow. But yeah, this is it's less than usual in some ways meat-wise, but also I'm really stocked up on vegetables. This is another reason that I go to the store is basically to get this kind of frozen broccoli because it comes already cut, and so I don't have to waste time cutting vegetables.
Again, there's a premium, but I just think it's worth the price and the inconvenience of having to like cook and stuff. I'd like to spend as little time as possible cooking, grocery, all that stuff. Honestly, if I could order, I would, and they do have delivery services here. I just find delivery a bit challenging here because a lot of the delivery drivers, a lot of them don't even speak French, the delivery drivers, and it's just very complicated because they can't really leave stuff for you, like they have to call you, and there's a lot of back and forth. I find the addresses are a bit complicated. Delivery here in Morocco sucks. All my experiences here with delivery have been really complicated, which is why I just find it easier to go to the store. And I kind of like grocery shopping anyway, to be honest. But aside from that, I like to spend as little time day to day doing prep and things like that. I actually meal prep. I cook all the meat at once and that's it for the week. I put it in containers. I just try to spend as little time as possible on that. But anyway, that is groceries for the week. I've been working for the past couple hours. I think it's time for a meal because all I've had today were those protein bars, which is not exactly a nutritious meal. So I think I'm gonna have some ground beef that I bought today. All right, so lunch is good to go. Just this meat, broccoli. I don't really know if this is lunch at this point. It's already 5, so maybe dinner.
Like in HubSpot, we have like 40,000 emails tops. We can export that list and provide it to you guys. Is that helpful?
I'm gonna go pick up some fruits. I look really rough. I'm having a bad day, so yeah. Let's go into the dark so you can't see me properly. It is now evening. I'm gonna go get some fruits just to have a little snack for today, and also for the day trip tomorrow, I want some fruits to snack on, so yeah, I'll take you over there. The reason I didn't get it at the store this morning is because I usually get produce at the produce stores. Wherever you're living in the neighborhood, there will be quite a lot of stores with a lot of fruits and vegetables and whatnot. I honestly don't know if it's less expensive. It might be, but I just like to support the local shops. I mean, if they have the same product and it's around the same price, I figure it's nicer to go to the people that live around here rather than, you know, like the mega corporation. They're pretty much just as good. If not, sometimes, honestly, I have to say, sometimes the fruits are better at those produce shops, now that I think about it. Depends on the fruit. Something like an orange is pretty consistent throughout, but persimmon season, for example, the persimmons at those stores, the little neighborhood stores, absolutely bang. It's not persimmon season anymore, unfortunately. It's really sad. I was just eating a few of those every single day, totally obsessed. I wish they were still around. Unfortunately, they're not. It's making me sad right now because, as I said, I'm already having a bad day. I'm gonna cry like on command at this point. I literally was about to cry over persimmons in that moment. But anyway, I'll show you how much everything costs and try to do all of that without getting emotional about persimmons. So this covers most of the day-to-day expenses, but I'll go over some of the costs that weren't included in these past 2 days. One is phone plan. Here in Tangier, I think it's the same throughout all of Morocco, but you can just go to any corner store. You're gonna have one probably within a minute of wherever you're living or wherever you are at any given time. And you can go and you can buy the recharge. So it's basically a prepaid phone plan. I always got Maroc Telecom, but you can choose any of them. I would usually recharge 50 dirhams. They have that 50 dirham package, which is a few gigabytes, lasts for 30 days. That's only $5, so it's really inexpensive and very easy to do the recharge. I'm saying I'm translating from French, I think. It's a top up. Top up is what I mean when I say recharge. Anyway, very good pricing. Aside from that, I was also doing Pilates and MMA. Pilates is expensive anywhere you go. I got I think it was a 12 class package for 1,500 dirhams, which is $168, $14 per class, which is better than in other places, but still, as I said, compared to a gym or anything like that, it still is expensive in comparison, which is normal for Pilates because I think it's just the machines are expensive. I was also doing MMA. That was way less expensive. It was 180 dirhams per month for once a week, so that is $20 total, $5 per class, as I said, very inexpensive. So that kind of shows the contrast between, for example, Pilates and MMA, which is normal. Eating out and going out is pretty inexpensive in most places. It does depend, as with any city, there's a wide range of places that you can go to. So some will be more expensive while some others are far less expensive. I remember I would get a breakfast or something like that, less than $5. I thought it was very inexpensive, but you can go to in Tangier, there's one area that is kind of like the new city center, let's call it. You'll know when you're there. It feels very different. Access to alcohol is very easy there. It just feels totally different and modern. You'll know when you're there, and there it's closer to European prices in most places, but again, depends where you go. I had to go to the dentist once because I chipped my tooth, and I was a bit concerned because I don't have travel insurance or anything like that, but I don't remember the exact price. This is one of the previous videos. I think it was about $50 US to refill that. So very cheap. And actually I probably overpaid because I went to an English speaking one specifically. If you speak better French than I do, or if you speak Darija or Arabic, then you can probably go to a, I don't know, a more local one that costs less money. Mine is probably geared a little bit more towards tourists, I would guess, because I specifically look for an English speaking one because anything medical, I want to make sure that I can communicate properly. My French is okay, but I don't want to take the risk. Hotels are cheap too. I took a couple of trips and hotels were always cheap. There were a couple things that were more expensive. Number one is clothes from international brands. Any of those that are imported from Europe, for example, they are going to be overpriced. You could go to local places. Anything imported, I think those are the only things that are more expensive in Morocco, which makes sense. For example, I would go to the grocery store and buy some imported foods. Those were more expensive, overpriced produce and things like that. I wanted to get extra lean ground beef because at the souk they don't have a specific percentage, it's just what it is. And I wanted extra lean. I wanted 95.5 or more lean, and I would have to go to the grocery store to get that. That was very expensive. I remember it was 15 USD per kilo, which is more expensive than it is even in Canada, and Canada has expensive groceries. So overall, the cost of living, I would say, is actually really great in Morocco. There are some trade-offs, and I'll make an upcoming video talking about all the pros and cons to give you a full breakdown very, very soon. But that's pretty much it for cost of living, so I'll see you in the next one.